What's everybody? How's it hanging? How's it happening? You guys know who this is. This is Kevin from the Chord Progression Podcast. The podcast bringing the best emerging bands and artists in rock and metal to all you crazy rock and metal fans. You guys say, hey, I got to know that band, and I know that band before they got big. And bringing you the best bands in the scene today as well, and some of their crazy stories so you guys can say, I never knew that. That's pretty cool. Welcome to the show. This is our last episode of January for 2023. Man, it's already the end of January. Where did the time go? We got Above Snakes in the podcast for their second appearance. We can take a look at what they've done touring in 2022, how everything came to fruition, some new music coming out, and of course, how to avoid all the pitfalls that potential bands have fallen into because, you know, there's so many people that try out there that are going to say they're going to help you, but, you know, try and scam you. So how to avoid stuff like that. Before we jump into the show, though, I want to thank our sponsor, which is Phoenix Fitness. Yes, you know, we're at the end of January, and there's a lot of tours coming up for February, March, April, especially in the rock and metal world, and you want to go to as many shows as possible, right? But you got to make sure that your body's prepared to go to some of these shows because if you're like me, you jump in those mosh pits and you don't stop until the show is over. So you want to be mosh pit fit, yeah? So you got to go to the gym. You got to work out. You got to make sure you got your cardio on top of the game, basically. You got to make sure you're lifted enough so that you're strong. You're like, man, yeah. So you can go and just, you know, have some fun in those pits. But you want to make sure your body is being prepared and recovering right so that you can continue to do this stuff on a daily basis so you continue to work out without having to deal with, you know, the constant muscle ache sores and be able to continue to grow the muscle as well so you can continue to get stronger, better cardio. That's where Phoenix Fitness comes in. They have many different types of supplements for you to help achieve your fitness goals and be mosh pit fit like me. So they have different supplements like pre-workouts, both stim and stim-free. I use their stim-free stuff because I've got enough energy as it is. I'm set. They also have different creatines, basically recovery compounds for help your muscles, you know, absorb the nutrients after a workout. They also have different types of protein, collagen protein, plant-based protein, whey protein. I use their whey stuff. So yeah. Different multivitamins, many things, many products if you achieve your fitness goals, Phoenix Fitness has for you. So our listeners get 20% off using the code CPP20 at fnxfit.com. Link shipping to the podcast. Thank you, Phoenix Fitness. Make sure you guys are liking this episode and subscribing to the podcast. Well, it helps us out a lot. So thank you. And now, enough with that. Let's go! Yeah. Well, ladies and boys and girl listeners of the Chord Progression Podcast. Back in February 2022, this band right here appeared on the podcast for the first time before going out on the road with some of our friends in From Ashes to New, Fire from the Gods, Kingdom Collapse, and Blind Channel. It's about a year later, and they are back and ready for more. In the month of March, they'll be going out with Adelita's Way and otherwise, so you'll be able to catch them on tour there with some good tracks, with some good music, especially the most recent single, Down, which you guys can go check out right now, and I expect you to go check it out, well, after the episode. But beforehand, let's have some fun. So please welcome back Johnny and Dax from Above Snakes of the podcast. So gentlemen, welcome back.
What's up, dude? How you doing?
I am doing fantastic, guys. How are you guys doing? It's been a minute.
Yeah, it's been about a year, like you said. Yeah, we've been busy, keeping busy. We're excited for the new year. Kicking off 2023 with a bang.
Kicking off 2023 with a bang. I mean, a tour with Adelita's Way and otherwise. But I do want to kind of kick back to the first tour that we had talked about from like beginning of 2022 because that was the one where a lot of people got to know who you guys were, got a lot of exposure for you guys because, again, going on the road with bands like From Ashes to New, Fire from the Gods, Blind Channel's first appearance from the U.S., and of course our friends in Kingdom Collapse. So kind of looking back at that, what was that tour like? Because I heard nothing but good things from those other bands, and I want to hear what you guys had to experience on that tour.
Dude, that tour was a monster. Like you said, all those bands are fucking amazing, you know, all bands that we listen to and love. And then on top of that, that was our first tour too. So it was just like, holy shit, here we go. 35 date full US, fucking let's get it, you know?
Yeah, everybody became like family, like really quick and no egos or anything. It was awesome.
Yeah, couldn't ask for a better tour. And that was, you know, great way to kick off last year and followed up a few after that. And it was fucking amazing.
Well, yeah, because I mean, I even remember going like on that From Ashes to New tour, the 2 dates that I saw you guys. It was the constant camaraderie between every single band that was up there. From you guys, King Collapse, Blind Channel, Fire from the Gods, From Ashes to New, just seeing how every single band interacted with each other. It was somewhere, I think it might have been like the first or second week of the tour that I saw you guys on. So there had been like 6 more weeks to go. And if you guys were already having that chemistry in the first 2 weeks on your first tour, that just speaks volumes about not only that tour package, but also the character of Above Snakes and how you guys fit in on these tour packages with other bands.
Yeah, no, it was legit. It was fucking great experience, great first fucking run for Above Snakes, you know. And we were actually just talking about that. Which you came to Stormies, right? Stormies was the second night that you came.
I came to both. I was at 1175 in Racine, and I was at Stormies in Beaver Dam. I did both nights
That's
back
what
to
it
back
was. I
because
couldn't remember what the first one was.
I wasn't
Yeah,
gonna
yeah.
I wasn't gonna miss out on that tour, given the fact that I'm like good friends with the Kingdom Collapse, and I absolutely love From Ashes to New. Had interviewed Blind Channel, interviewed you guys beforehand. It was like this is like the perfect tour for me to get going to and see back to back days. I wish I could have seen even more days on that, but you know, you guys got to go and experience new markets at the same time too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that shit was a blast. Both of those shows were awesome.
So looking back at that tour, because I always like to hear some crazy tour stories about some things that might have gone, especially that being your first tour. What were some of the shows or some of the stories that just stick out in your mind as like, for your first tour, this was absolutely fucking awesome?
Honestly, like the second night, the Fire
Yeah.
from the Gods dudes, just came right on our bus and was just like, "Yo, what's up? Like, we haven't met you guys yet," and just like started hanging out, and then more members started coming on, and like end of the night, probably there like at least 4 a.m. just hanging out before we had to leave, and it started being like that, like from then on,
Yeah, very close. Very
every
early
night.
on.
Like those guys are family. When they came on tour here with Five Finger and Megadeth, they took us out. We hung out all night, and great dudes. So
Damn.
that was pretty cool.
That was sick. Trying to think what else.
When Bonner broke that toilet.
Yeah, there was some antics, you know. A sink, I think it was.
Broken
Then
toilet.
actually,
broken
like,
sink.
what
I
was it,
gotta
like
hear
the
that.
third night or fourth night, everyone went to the strip club. Of course, my dumb ass was too drunk and I passed out. And then they're like, "We're going." I tried to get up and go, and the girl was like, "No, you're not. Go back to bed. You're done." So I missed out on that adventure.
I know.
I'm still kicking myself for that.
They ended up playing Broken Once that night too in the strip club. And he missed that.
Right? I was so pissed.
Oh no!
I think he has a video. He's like filming it, right? And they came over to you and they're like, "Oh, dude, you can't be filming." He's like, "This is my song." They're like, "Hold on." And they brought the other bouncer over or something.
Yeah.
He's like, "All right, let him film it. Let him film it."
I mean, I totally understand where they're coming from. Where they're not going to allow filming in a club like that. But then also, no. You guys are playing our song in this club right now. Like, we need to just say, like, we're not going to show any of the stuff that you guys don't want filmed. But we just need to document the fact that this club was playing our song while we were in here. Like, how cool is that?
Yeah, they had to document it so they could rub it in my face the next day that I wasn't there.
I can just see it now where like you woke up in the morning and these guys just all show you like, look at what happened last night. And all of a sudden your thought process must have just been,
Yep.
shit.
Exactly.
Well, damn,
Right.
especially, I'll say just especially from like the, hearing about, Fire from the Gods just jumping on your bus and hanging out with you guys and starting that family camaraderie from the second night of tour. And then like the third or fourth night, whole entire strip club, like little field trip that involves an Above Snake song playing in the club. Just from your first tour, from the first like 4 or 5 days that you guys are out, and you guys are already brought in his family, and you guys get to have one hell of an experience, except for Johnny because he was passed out. I mean, how cool is that? And how does this just speak to the fact that what you guys are doing right now, what you guys are doing with Above Snakes, I mean, starting out on the right foot, especially from a touring aspect, my God, it just, like, you guys just started out the right way.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. Like, just a couple years ago, we're, listening to Octane, listening to all these bands, and now we're on Octane and just being friends with all these bands, it's pretty insane.
So when it comes to Octane, what's it been like, you guys hearing your songs on Octane, especially getting support from, when it comes to rock and metal, probably the most important radio station there is out there?
Oh, 100% for sure. So we were actually out with Texas Hippie Coalition back in what was it, October?
Yeah, right when the song dropped.
So it got into test drive like during tour, and we're like, "Oh shit, this is crazy!" And then like it got quickly added after that, and I think like a couple of shows we were like playing it, while we're getting ready in the RV before we go on stage. Like, dude, this is fucking sick. So that was fucking unreal. But yeah, like you said, being on the list with all these other bands that we've looked up to for years and aspire to be like, and just fucking surreal.
And it's a family that we're definitely proud to be a part of for sure. Super grateful.
Oh, absolutely. Because again, take a look at I'm just gonna go back to that first tour. Just take a look again. Bands like Fire from the Gods, From Ash to the New, Blind Channel, Kingdom Collapse is another great example of a band that, especially running from the independent side, getting songs, featuring Octane, getting a radio station like that to get behind them, push that kind of music, and people really are able to ingest it, digest it, hear it, get behind it. And now you guys are being able to have that same opportunity to get in front of as many, I'm not just going to say as many ears as possible, but as many willing ears as possible. Because people aren't just playing on Octane just to, just to have it on. I mean, they might, but it's people that love that kind of music. So they're actively listening for stuff that they want to hear. And your guys' songs come on. Holy shit. I mean, people like it. The first thing they're going to do is look and see who's playing. What song is it? They're going to add it to their playlist. They're going to check out the rest of your discography, what you guys have going on. They're going to start falling in love with you guys so that when you guys go out on tour, especially in 2023 with Adelia's Way and otherwise, in March, get your tickets now because you're not going to want to miss out on that. People get a chance to actually, get invested, get emotionally invested into the band, feel the positivity that you guys are going to bring them, and then go and see you guys play live and just let that all out.
Definitely.
Yeah, we're excited because we only, like I said, we were on that run, but it was a short run. And when the song came out, we only had like 2 shows left on that. So it's like, and that was the last time we've been out since then, and so it's still like a new song. I'm like, damn, I heard the other day, I'm like, shit, we haven't even really played this out yet, it's still fucking fresh. So yeah, it's gonna be fun.
And that fresh feeling too, especially when it comes to a brand new song, if people know about it and now you get to go and hear it live for the first time, it just has this extra little bit of oomph behind it, especially for the fans, because you've been waiting to hear this song live. You've been waiting to feel that energy and feel that passion with so many other people in the crowd. You're not going to want to miss out on that.
Oh, so get there early because we are opening the show. So, get there early, have a drink, and then enjoy the whole night.
Yeah.
Make sure that you can get there early too, because especially with bands like Adelia's Way and Otherwise, I know Otherwise has a new record coming out around that time too. From that March tour.
Thursday tour, I believe.
Yeah, was it March
later?
Oh, is it later?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that? Because I know it's coming out. I think it was coming out either March 10th or March 17th. I can't think of the day that their album is coming out right now. I know I should know it, but I'm starting to have some brain freeze there.
All good.
But just that adds to it because Otherwise does have quite a decent following as well. So with them coming out the new record, people are going to want to show up and go and see them. But in order for them to make sure they're there in time to see them, they're going to end up, getting there early, having a drink, enjoying talking to their friends, seeing Above Snakes. And then before Otherwise comes out while they're all amped up, they're going to say, okay, Above Snakes open the show and I'm feeling great. Like they kicked ass. Let's go.
Yep, we got to hype up the crowd. That's our job. We love that shit.
And I know you guys can do it as well, seeing how you got everything started on that first tour that you guys did, because seeing how everything went from, you guys, Kingdom Collapse, Blind Channel, Fire from the Gods. Once From Ash to New got on, everyone was still raring and ready to go for the same amount of energy they had at the beginning, even though it's like, okay, we've been here for a while. You might be getting tired. Nah. Every band has brought it, so your adrenaline is kicking in, and you are ready to go to start headbanging the hell out of every place and throwing your hands up, putting the devil horns up, going nuts, because you're in a live setting. It's live music. You're feeding off that energy, and you guys started out great. So I see nothing changing on this Adelia's Way Otherwise tour where you guys struggle. Like, there's no struggle right there. You guys are going to start out this tour as a freaking banger.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, hell yeah. And we'll have some new songs, too, some new material. We'll actually be releasing a song very soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
In the works right now. And we actually head back to Nashville in less than 2 weeks to finish up
3 more songs.
3 more, and that should pretty much finish up the EP that we plan on dropping late spring, early summer. Debut EP. You heard it first.
So now we're going to get a debut EP from Above Snakes at some point this year as well. My God.
This
is awesome.
Big year.
This is a big year for you guys. So when it comes to let's take a look at some of this new music as well. I know you guys can't, go off crazy about it, but how about I ask this question? When it comes to the next song that you're going to release, what inspired that song? Now, I'm not talking about just talking like, what to expect in it, because I want people to be ready to go for it, but I want to know when you guys are writing this stuff, what was your inspiration behind it, so everyone gets a little bit of that, that tease behind it, so we're all ready to go and amped up once it releases.
It's honestly about the lifestyle and the crazy fast life that we kind of lead, and but it has like a darker twist to it. So you just have to wait and find out.
So can you go a little bit deeper, not in the dark twist, but like the lifestyle side of things, especially with you guys? I know you guys have been in bands for quite a long time, with Above Snakes, really getting going last year. I mean, you guys had released music but during the pandemic, but really getting your big start in 2022, being able to go on the road. When it comes to that lifestyle, from your perspective, what certain aspects are you talking about? Because I know there's a lot of travel that goes along, a lot of touring, time away from your family, a lot of different trials and tribulations that you go through. So like, what aspects of the lifestyle really influence you to start writing, the next
Just
batch of songs?
Kind of all that, the traveling, the missing family, and just like honestly the lifestyle of drinking every night and all the party favors and the long nights and just kind of beating up your body and wearing it down, to be quite honest.
Yeah.
But like I said, it's just kind of a different spin on that kind of theme.
And I don't want to know about the dark like twist to it, because I want to hear this for the first time, either on the track or hear it live, so I can really just like feel it for myself and just be like, oh my God, this is fucking awesome. Like, that's what I want.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
But now that
very soon.
But now, especially, you guys are back into the swing of the lifestyle as well, back to touring, back to doing all, that kind of stuff. What are some of those aspects of the lifestyle that you currently are seeing as, for yourself, as, the high points, the points that you really enjoy, the points that you really find, the things that really keep you going in this lifestyle? But what are some of the other aspects of lifestyle as well that kind of are those things where personally for yourself you kind of struggle with? Because a lot of other bands that are coming up and emerging right now, they're trying to break out from that local or regional status, become more of a nationally touring act like yourself. Like, I always like to hear just kind of different perspectives on the lifestyle as well from you guys, as to what aspects of it you enjoy, what aspects you don't enjoy, to kind of just, spread the knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, we enjoy a lot of it. Like you said, it's definitely tough. Like you have to give up a lot. There's a lot of sacrifices, but we're doing what we love. It's like, I can't imagine doing anything else, And it's like we've been in bands in the past and worked on it for years and played with different people, and then this thing kind of like started a little slow, and then we got all these opportunities right away, and it's just been taken off, and it's just we're so grateful to be out there doing it, and like we definitely crossed our minds, like, are we doing this? Can we do this? Is this for real? Like, and then we put the songs out during pandemic, like in the middle of pandemic, the first song came out. We're like, dude, we don't know what's gonna happen, and then fucking 2 years later we're out touring, and the team is growing constantly, and we're just having fun, dude.
That's quite a good thing to hear as well, because if you're not having fun with this, especially with all the things you have to go through in the lifestyle, all the things you have to sacrifice that a lot of other people don't have to, that have more of that, kind of that 9-to-5 lifestyle. There's certain things where people struggle with understanding, you have to give up these things. But when you do, if it's something for that you're absolutely in love with, something that you're passionate about, you're willing to do those things in order to chase your life's goals, chase your life's dreams, and to live the happiest life you can possibly for yourself.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, you give up a lot and, struggle by all means, and fucking, but it's sick as fuck, especially with this new stuff. And we're going out, like, we were so grateful to be on that tour, and make all these new friends and fans. And then on the next run with Stitched Up Heart and September Morning and Raw, we're coming back to these same markets, and people are wearing the merch and singing the songs, and we're just like, dude, this is fucking.
Yeah, it's just like kind of like it's like every time up a level, and then after that Raw tour, we got picked up by TKO, so now we have a full-time agent. So that's going full-time now.
Yep. So that was huge, and yeah, we just kept working. We got a bunch of new music. We're fucking stoked on it. Shit slams.
I had totally forgotten about that Such a Part of September Morning Raw tour as well. Like, it just completely had blanked my mind. I do want to jump into that as well, because I have had Mixie on the podcast before. I've had Sahaj on the podcast 2 times before, and hearing about kind of his mindset, especially around music and producing music as well, is something that I always enjoy talking about. So when you guys were on that tour, were you able to really connect with Sahaj from Raw, especially to talk about, kind of the music business and kind of the production side, especially for new music as well, based with his knowledge?
We didn't get as much time as we would have liked. We kind of actually did plan on doing some more of that stuff, but it was kind of a weird time getting back in, and I don't know, we were kind of all over the place, and then the COVID thing was kind of a situation still off and on, so there was some issues with that, and that actually cut the tour a little short too. We were actually already in Vegas, sound checked and everything, and then they pulled the plug before the show. And then we ended up having to drive all the way back from Vegas, which was kind of a bummer. But other than that, seeing Sahaj every night, like, he's a fucking phenomenal singer, you know what I mean? Like, on point every night without a doubt. Like, fucking, you're just like, holy shit. And his voice is like, he's got that high register too, dude, you know what I mean? It's like, holy shit. And we grew up listening to him, so even that, and they were like, oh, Raw tour. I'm like, what? Like, do you call my name? Are you kidding me? That was a fucking jam back in the day. So.
And like same thing like with the From Ashes tour, like, this tour wasn't as long, and it wasn't, we didn't have as much time to bond with these bands. We they're all still homies. September Morning and Sahaj and all the dudes in Raw and Mixie, Stitched Up Heart, all those great people.
So the reason why I want to ask about if you guys were able to pick Sahaj's brain and like connect them on that front, because I know he's worked with Stitch Up Heart, I know he's worked with September Morning, so it's like seeing the bands that he's worked closely with, going on tour with them, and then having you guys in the mix. Well, I'm like, shit. If Sahaj is going on tour with bands that he works with and Raw, and then bringing you guys out there, I mean, if he's seeing something in you guys, I mean, everyone should be paying attention.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, he actually said that one night. He's like, I've worked with all the bands on this tour, except for Above Snakes. We're going to work together soon. So, someday.
Yeah, he's a homie.
I'll say when you guys, it's not an if, it's when you guys get a chance to work with him, because you'll probably end up being out there working with him in Indiana. The stories I've heard, take him out to the local casino in Indiana. I forgot who told me the story about what happened there with him, but apparently they just left him there and he was there till like 4 or 5 in the morning just hanging out. But yeah, I mean, Johnny, then you might be able to make up for being, a little bit too over the top intoxicated during the stripper run.
Yeah. Oh, never again.
Get yourself a good Sahaj story in there.
I'm sure we'll have one eventually. But yeah, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, we got to play with all those great bands last year. It was just fucking surreal.
And then even this year, on this tour, we're opening for Drowning Pool is going to be a headliner one night on the Adelitas tour, and Nonpoint too in Houston.
Wait. Nonpoint's going to be on one of those days?
Yeah.
2 more fucking bucket list, like, huge bands, grew up listening to.
Oh my God. The one that just stands with me out of those 2 specifically is Nonpoint, because I've loved talking with Elias on the podcast and seeing Nonpoint live. The energy they bring, the connection of the crowd is something that's incredible. So for you guys to be able to open a show with Nonpoint on there, whoo, you guys got your work cut out for you. But if you guys can do exactly what I know you guys can do, you guys will be able to open up for Nonpoint and really just drive that energy towards them. And you'll probably end up having some fun times, being able to connect with the guys in Nonpoint as well, because those guys are freaking hysterical.
Fuck yeah. Yeah, we can't wait. Shit's going to be sick.
Yeah.
So kind of taking a look at the tour you guys are going on again with Adelita's Way and otherwise, how did you guys get on this tour as well? Because, I mean, just seeing, since you guys have become a band and have gone out on tour, the bands you're going out with, just the list is incredible. So how did this one come to fruition?
We can thank the great Andrew Goodfriend at TKO Booking, our agent.
Yep. Yeah, pretty much shortly after we started working with him, he was like, yo, I got this run. You guys in? And I'm like, fuck yeah, we're in, of course. And then, yeah, pretty easy.
I was expecting some more like epic drawn out story, but it's just like, we got an agent. Agent does us good. Thank you.
Yep.
I know, it almost never happens like that, right?
Yeah, we lucked out because all the bands were all under the same roster, so which is pretty sick. So came together.
I think I do remember taking a look at the TKO roster, and there's a shit ton of bands in that roster for like bands that are managed by TKO. So when it comes to the future for you guys touring as well, it's the group that you have and be able to potentially easily get connected to for a lot of different tours as well. I mean, you guys are probably in the best spot possible.
Yeah, we're very grateful for that. Because that's one of the hardest things, It's like you got this music, you start this band, and then it's like you either like play the local scene and hopefully that like a band comes through and you can open up for them, and then people start to take notice. But like honestly, we did that a lot growing up, and then we went off and played all these different things, and that wasn't really the mindset of what we wanted to do with this project, So we got to play one local show, and then we were very lucky to get on that tour. And at that point, we didn't have a booking agent, So funny enough, our publicist got that gig for us with Firm Ashes and Fire from the Gods and everyone, which was fucking crazy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because he had worked with From Ashes before, and just hit up.
But we've been working with him for a few releases, and we've known him for years. And that's the thing: surround yourself with good people that you can trust, people that see the same vision as you, and I feel like that's the best way to get your vision out there.
Shout out to Tom George.
Tag publicity.
Shout out to Mr. Tom George. You, sir, are the man for getting these guys, which I should point this way because that's the way the video is going to be, getting these guys out on tour and getting them to be a nationally touring band like there we go, like that.
Yep.
Had a little trouble with the snap on that one, so, well, it might be kind of the perfect way to put it too, because all the other projects you guys have worked on in the past, just like, and then this Buff Snakes, boom. But kind of taking a look at it, especially with Above Snakes, I mean, you just said you guys went from a different approach for this one in terms of, getting out on the road, getting out to be nationally touring, and getting your music out there compared to some of the other products. Well, so what have you seen, especially when it comes to getting the right people and the right team around you guys? What has been that process like compared to times in the past when you guys had not done that as effectively?
I mean, I think it takes a bunch of fuck ups and a bunch of assholes to find those people, you know what I mean, that you can trust and you can work with. Because, we've been scammed by people in the past, and fucking people think they're going to be your manager and they want to charge you money to be your manager and all this crazy ass shit for one example. And just a bunch of shady people in this business, and unfortunately, you got to weed yourself through that shit,
Yeah, but the people we have now, just believe 100%, just like we do. Go after things just as hard as we would, and we're not, being charged thousands of dollars a month or any weird thing. It's all, a big family.
Yeah, everyone wants to get paid. Everyone, so like you got to watch out for that shit. And I'd be lying if we didn't, get scammed by someone in the past and trying to tell you one thing, and it doesn't happen. But if you do what you love and you were passionate about it and you just keep working at it, like you're gonna find those people and you're gonna break through.
It's kind of like that idea of just like positivity is going to attract other positivity as well. Where if you guys are working your asses off, if you guys are putting in all the work, and then as people come through and try and like say, hey, I want to manage you. Hey, I'll help you get on tours, get you dates and whatnot. You gotta like the ability to use that passion and use that drive to understand that there are people out there that can help you get further when you cultivate those relationships. But there's also going to be people out there that are going to be looking to just get paid to scam you and make money to do little effort. So you got to be able to have the drive and the mindset to, work with these people, but also analyze and see, are these people going to be the ones that are going to actually help me or not? Are these the people that are going to actually help my vision and help my dream and help my goals, especially as a musician, get to that point that I want to get to, instead of just trying to get paid, which eventually will end up hindering me in the long run. It's a whole mental game that you got to continue to play, but it's all got to be seen as a part of improving your position so that you have the best chance to achieve your goals and achieve your dreams as possible.
No, for sure.
100%.
It's that fine line, If you want to work with these people, do you want to give up some of this to be at that level with these dudes and blah, blah, blah. And, once the song got added to Octane, we definitely had people calling and people are like, we weeded some of those bad ones out, and we've already made some good connections because of that. So it's like, you get both sides of it.
And using past experience as well to help you decide what connections are going to be the good ones and what offers are going to be those, scam offers. You've gone through so many different things so that you understand when people that are saying like, hey, I can help you, that they truly want to help you and they're truly able to, versus the people that say they want to help you just because, oh, these guys are starting, get a little more popular right now. I can make money off of this. No.
Yeah,
We don't want those people.
Let me piggyback on that shit real quick. All that fucking hard work that they've been doing for the past 2 years, Nah, fuck that. We would greatly appreciate some help if someone was to step in and fucking see the vision like us. Cool, let's fucking work. But until then, we're just gonna fucking full speed ahead, do it ourselves.
Oh, absolutely. Because when it comes down to it, I mean, this is anything with any business. Because again, the music industry, that's a business. Being in a band, that's a business. When it comes to improving your business, you have to find that understanding of when if you're stuck on something, when is it best to do it yourself and to just learn that skill, or to find someone else that can help you and, do that even better than you could possibly do it. But the other issue too is, especially as a musician, if you're starting to get, your song is starting to get traction, people are starting to come in. You might need help with some of those things, but if those people are going to end up putting you in a worse spot based off of them trying to scam you or just try and take some of your money through your hard work because they feel like they can, at that time, it's best to just go full force ahead and try and figure it out for yourself. But also learn when people are trying to scam you, when people are actually genuinely working with you to see your vision, to help improve the chances of that happening, and to put you guys in a position for success.
No, for sure.
Definitely.
100%.
Yep.
Man, we went from talking about good old tours to business. Yeah. But I mean, that's what happens. And there's a lot of bands out there too. I mean, and you guys experience this as well, where, I mean, how many bands go through things where they're starting to get a little bit of traction? It doesn't nationally, locally, regionally, and someone comes in and says that they can help them and then takes advantage of them. And then the band ends up fizzling out after that because of one bad decision. I mean,
Yep.
How many times have you guys seen that happen before? Just
countless times,
Yep.
People get frustrated, and then they start fighting, and then you're fighting internally, and it's just like very rarely turns up right side, which sucks.
Yeah.
And it's such a hard thing. You're in the fucking, especially when you're on the road, you're in such tight quarters with a bunch of dudes. You got to get along with them, or it's just going to be hell every night, So when you got some outside voice chirping in your ear, stirring the pot, stirring shit up, it's like recipe for disaster,
Yeah, and the number of bands that have split up because of that, either if they're really, really small, or even some of the biggest bands in the world that have split up because of stuff like that happening. I mean, like a life's work or a life's dream or a life's vision could be completely shattered by something as simple as that. And if you're so passionate about it, if this is really what you want to do in life, you have to understand there's going to be people out there that are going to try and take advantage of that to make a quick buck off of you. And it's going to end up potentially overshadowing some of the things that you are doing and potentially put you further back than you were. So in turn, it's all about being, like, I would say, just, doing your due diligence on these things. And I know sometimes it's tough. I know sometimes it's hard, but especially if you're in the music industry or you're even your local scene, your regional scene, national scene, whatever other people in the music industry you're connected with, reach out to them and ask for some advice, ask for help, because the last thing anyone else in the music industry wants to see is a bunch of people that are a bunch of kids, bunch of, people that are starting bands trying to make it and then faltering because they're falling into the same, pitfalls of people trying to scam them that many others have done in the past.
Yep. 100%. And that's exactly what we do. You know what I mean? Anyone we know, we'll just be like, yo, this person? Tell me about this dude. And they let us know. Most of the time it's good. Sometimes it's bad. But that's it, dude. There's just so much bullshit out there. Fake fucking shit, And these people think they're getting stuff. And
yeah, I can get you on this. I can get you on that. Just pay me this. Dude.
Yeah, it's shady.
Yeah, it's kind of like like a timeshare. It's just like, hey, you can get all this cool stuff, and you have to pay me right now, and then you're gonna get all this cool stuff. Well, how are you gonna actually pull this off? Well, once you pay me, I'll tell you. Come on,
Dude,
really?
it's just like people preying off your vulnerability. You know what I mean? You just want this thing so bad, so you're willing to fucking sacrifice and do shitty fucking deals or shitty things because you want it so bad. And you think the light is at the end of the tunnel. But then these people just fucking have no problem screwing you over, you know? And most of them claim they like music and they love music and blah blah blah. Fuck you. No, you don't.
Yeah, or they claim they were, they worked at some label, but then you find out they were only like, at a little part of the label. They weren't responsible for the careers of, they were just part of the team. It's all bullshit.
Nonsense.
Yeah, it's like you get some guy to come up and say, "Oh yeah, man, I worked at Rise Records for 3 years," and it's like, okay, that sounds good, but then you find out that he actually worked in the mailroom for 3 years.
Yeah.
Exactly.
He emptied the trash barrels, you know. He's a custodian, dude.
He was there though.
Man, he was there at Rise Records, but what was he actually doing? Was sweeping the floors. I mean, just so technically, I mean, he's right in saying that he was there, but what you're thinking is he's not necessarily there. So it's all about, especially as people come in and try and say they're going to help you out, you have to do your due diligence to understand, can this person help me out? Is this person being genuine? Who else has worked with this person in the past that you can say, essentially, it's like, I want to believe that this is true, but why should I believe that this is true? Why should I believe that you are going to be able to help us? And why should I believe that you genuinely actually want to help us instead of just trying to make a quick buck?
Yeah.
Yeah. If it sounds too good to be true, usually is.
Yeah. It's I'm trying to think. It's like, man, I can get you guys to be a nationally touring band in like 6 months. Yeah, if you're stuck in the local scene at that point, sounds way too good to be true. There might be 1 or 2 bands in the history of the world that's really happened to, because you never know, some band might just get super duper lucky. But if someone's gonna guarantee that, then you gotta throw up the little red flag there and be like, maybe this is a problem. Maybe you want to look into this guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Stay away. Stay clear of that shit.
But especially through all the times from all these other bands that you guys have, been as well before Above Snakes, all those different instances, all those different times that you guys experienced stuff like this, all the different times you've seen other people experience stuff like this, as Above Snakes is starting to continue to grow, you guys have used that built-in knowledge, that built-up knowledge to understand when it comes to finding people that are going to help you guys achieve your goals, achieve your dreams, and get to the point in time where, Above Snakes, I mean, you guys are already a nationally touring band. You guys are having your songs played and promoted on the biggest radio station for rock and metal out there today. So you guys have used that experience to find the right people, to work with the best people, and continue to grow this thing as well as you guys possibly can. I mean, who starts out their first tour on that big of a tour with From Ashes to New? Then you go on a tour with Ross, Stitch Apart, somewhere have a smaller Texas Hippie Coalition, and then Ellie's Way. And otherwise, I mean, come on. Like, you guys definitely have used all that knowledge and put it to the best place possible where you guys are flying.
Yeah, like we said, we're super grateful for the team we have. Everyone came together and made a great team.
But that's the thing. Like I said, it didn't happen overnight, and we definitely had the ups and downs, and you got to go through that shit. Makes you tougher, makes you want it more, and ultimately makes you get it.
I think that's another important thing too, because as every single band, I mean, no one's gonna have it just be up and up and up and up and up and constantly. You're gonna have those struggles that come into there. I'm even start out with you guys when you guys started releasing music. We were still pretty much confined to our houses, and we were all wondering when live music was ever gonna come back. Like, we were still wondering this, and that's when you guys had really got to start. So you guys already kind of started out in that space where not as just you guys, but the music industry as a whole was in a lull because the freaking pandemic hit.
Yeah, that shit was wild.
Yeah, it was weird, not being able to play shows and just only releasing music.
Yeah, people would be like, when are you playing? Shit, dude, I don't know. Whenever it all comes back. But yeah, then it came back and we got that great tour, and it was and it was so cool too, because so many people were like, they would come up to us and be like, "Oh, I haven't seen I haven't gone to a concert in so long. You're the first time I've gone out. You're the first band I've seen back." And since we were the opener, we truthfully were the first band, and it was fun, dude. It was awesome.
I mean, what did that just mean to you guys, that people were coming up to you guys, this is the first tour we got to see, this is the first show we got to see, And you guys were the first band people got to see back from the pandemic. I mean, when people came up and told you guys that stuff, like, what was that emotion like coming from you guys?
Dude, it was insane.
Yeah, I mean, some people even would come up, like some cities we'd go to, be like, "Oh, this is my first concert ever.
Yeah.
You guys were the first band I've ever seen live." Like, what? Like in a lot
was
of
that?
Fargo, North Dakota. Yeah. That was crazy.
Damn.
But they had fun, and they're gonna keep going to rock shows.
Well, and the best part about it too is when it comes to anybody, I mean, even for you guys, even myself as well, the first real rock show you guys ever went to, I mean, you probably remember that shit like it was yesterday.
Yep. Then my real first one was Limp Bizkit. Back in the day. Yeah. Limp Bizkit, and I can't remember who they were with. That shit was sick, you know. I had my dad took like me and a couple of friends, and he just let us go down to the pit, and he sat up in like the bleachers and like took a nap or some shit. Like, I don't know how you napped during Limp Bizkit, but yeah, I think that was the first time I ever smoked weed too.
Yeah.
Good night.
I was about to say, God damn, that sounds like a great night. I don't even think I could beat that one. I think the first band I ever saw live was Styx. Yeah,
sick.
But like the first real show I think I ever went to, I'll still remember this till forever. The first real show I went to, because it was the first show I actually went to just by myself without like my parents taking me. So the first band I actually went to go see by myself was it was Rise Against.
Nice.
Oh yeah.
And from that moment, I loved Rise Against, but from that moment I was just like, okay, I'm fucking hooked. Like that was it.
Yep.
So what about you, Dax?
Probably I remember just going to a lot of the Ozfests early on, like seeing like right when like Mudvayne came out and Drowning Pool. It was like super early on like the smaller stages. That was pretty intense.
Yeah, I missed that shit. I wish they still did that Ozfest. That shit was dope.
Yeah, I kind of wish they would too. Just again, just keep having some of those heavier. Just bring it back, so we can have all that heavy music just on a nice big old festival once again.
Man,
it was like the heavy Warped Tour before Warped Tour.
And too, it's like the Wimmerfest now, but they're just the festivals. It would be like as if one of those was a tour.
Traveling, yeah, like a road show. Yep.
Yeah, I mean, they still like that, like the the Not Fest road show, but that's like you're not getting a full 20 band festival package there. That's more. It's like the Not Fest road show. You're getting like 5 bands, which still is fucking cool, especially because you're gonna get Slipknot at the end of the night. But damn, can we get like that traveling shit once again? I know logistically it might be a little tougher. I know the expenses are also there as well, but god damn, maybe just one more year. Just can we get one more of those and just
put Above Snakes on that shit?
Exactly, put Above Snakes on that shit.
Let's go. No,
also,
someone should do something like that. A nice big fucking heavy ass tour.
I mean, I wish I had the money to say I could just throw it around right now
and just start let's go
like together. I mean, I'm just trying to think about it. I mean, you bring some of the say if you had like 20 bands to pick from, bring like maybe 2 or 3 bands that people always absolutely know and love. So some of those heavy hitters that have been around for a good number of years. Bring like 10 more that people really, really still know that are popular today. I'm talking about the ones that are. I'm not talking about the dinosaur bands. I'm talking about the ones that are consistently there. And then get like 7 or 8 up and coming ones, because you're gonna want to see the next generation and the next bands that are gonna be the biggest bands in the next 10 years. You're gonna want to get a chance to get the exposure to the fans and for people to experience them and see them. So why not focus a little bit more on that, and then have some of the bigger acts, be the thing that draws people in? But you're going to want to go and see as many acts possible. It's like any kind of festival setting. The headliners have been around for quite some time. They're going to bring people in, but always make sure you get there early, because all those smaller bands, shit, you're going to look back at that in 10, 12 years. You're going to look back at that lineup and see a band that's absolutely the smallest little band on that lineup that could be the one that's headlining that show in 12 years. It's like, damn, I could have seen them literally open up the whole entire festival on that small stage, maybe in front of like 100 people. I could have been one of those 100.
Yeah, that's what's so cool about that shit,
Yeah.
We're hoping for some festival spots, this year, next year.
Have you guys had any inquiries into playing any festivals for 2023? Don't need to know any specific festival. I just want to know if you've had any opportunities to potentially get on some of those lineups.
Yeah, we've been trying a couple. Just waiting. Takes time, and those things fill up quick. So
Yeah. That's the thing, dude. There's so many good bands, and there's so many bands in the scene fighting for these spots, and unfortunately, there's really not that many. Like there's only so many tours, there's only so many festivals, but there's a shit ton of bands. So we're just grateful to be able to be on the road and tour, and that we have this tour coming up, and just try to meet as many people as possible and play our hearts out and put on a fucking show so that we do get some festival spots in the future.
yeah.
Well, kind of speaking to that a little bit more as well, just seeing the trajectory that you guys have been going on. Again, starting to release music during the pandemic, and then getting on some of these tours that people are really coming out to see and really get to know you guys. Again, from Ashes to New, Raw, Texas Hippie College, and now Adelita's Way. Kind of following a little bit of a similar path to what our friends in Kingdom Collapse had done, and now they're gonna be on. They've been on festival lineups. They got a one in 2021. I think they had one or two in 2022. They're gonna have more in 2023. So it's just your name is gonna continue to get out there. Your exposure to Above Snakes is gonna continue to get out there. And, especially with the way that I've heard people talk about you guys, especially when it comes to being on tour, it's just nothing but a positive reaction when you hear the name Above Snakes. So when it comes to, can this band perform at a festival? Are they going to be a draw for people to come into? Yeah, people already know them. They're being supported on Octane. Why wouldn't you want to bring a band in like that?
That's what I'm saying. But, we got to build it a little more. We're getting there. We're just super grateful for what we had so far, what we've done, and we just got to keep hustling. That's it.
So kind of taking a look a little bit more throughout the rest of 2023, because you already, we know about the Adelita's Way tour. You guys said new EP, debut EP, expected sometime, late spring, early summer of this year. What else is the plan in 2023 for Above Snakes to ensure that you guys are continue to grow and continue to, gain as many fans as possible, gain as much exposure in the scene as you have been, continue that rise, continue that to keep going, because man, I want to see Above Snakes, play some of these festival days. I want to see as many people get as into them as possible. And I want to see, what happens when people really are like, holy shit, it's Above Snakes. And all of a sudden you're at a festival, you're on one of the stages, and there's no less than 1,000 people at that stage. So we can open up a nice little mosh pit there and have my dumb ass in the middle be like, hi guys. All of a sudden the huge breakdown hits. Hi guys. 1 sec. Ooh.
Yep. We need that. I think the key to that is just being on the road. We just need to be on the road as much as possible this year. That's our main focus. Like I said, we're gonna wrap all the music will be wrapped up in the next 3 weeks. Yep. And
you'll probably get 2 new singles before the EP drops. And then
it's going to be a nice long EP. Everyone says it's called extended play. Well, this will be extended play. It's not going to be a 4 or 5 song EP. I'll tell you that. It's going to be more.
Probably at least 9.
7, 8, 9, something in that family right there, But yeah, just on the road as much as possible so we can support that, and that's it. Meet as many new friends and fans as possible.
Now, I do kind of want to pick your guys' brain on this as well, because you were saying trying to get on the road as much as possible in 2023, because, of course, coming out of the pandemic, 2021 and 2022, it seemed like every band and their mother was going out on the road trying to tour. Because I think it was something like I ended up seeing, going to concerts, I think it was 45 different shows over the course of 2022. And it was because it was just, there's so many bands coming, so many bands touring. In 2023, I think, just because bands are potentially, having to save up a little bit of money, get back to the studio, create some new music. We might see a little bit of a lesser in tour schedule from bands in 2023 just because of the influx we saw in 2021 and 2022. So if you guys are potentially going out on the road as much as possible to, continue to promote your guys' stuff, especially if we're potentially seeing a little bit less of shows, so, less supply of shows, people are going to still want to go to shows, going to come and see you guys. Do you see potentially something like that happening where you guys could be coming through towns, coming through to play these shows, and people are especially want to come out because even if they don't know your name, it's, hey, a show, got some kick-ass music, and I need to go see a show, I'm there. So what do you think about potentially taking advantage of that kind of a situation?
Yeah, I think that's good. You know, that could definitely happen. I can see that. But like we're just grateful for these ones that we do have coming up, and we're hoping to get something solid for, you know, like late spring, early summer. Support that EP. It's weird. I feel like there was a bunch, like you were saying, there was a ton of tours going on, like right after that From Ash tour and all that stuff, and then I kind of tapered back a little bit. I feel like, and it kind of sucked for us because we didn't have anything really lined up because that one kind of came on very quickly. Like I said, we didn't have like the full team lined up and everything, so we got that one, and then we were lucky to get the other ones. But after that, we were pretty much off all summer, which kind of sucked. You know, you like to be out in the summer, busy, but at the same time, it also gave us time to get into the studio. This will be our third trip down now.
Yeah.
This will be a third trip back to Nashville for this EP. So, you know, we were back in the summer, and then fall, and now this last trip. So, you know, not on the road. At least we write music, and now we have all that ready so that we can be on the road next year, or this year rather.
Yeah, and with you guys going out on the road this year, again, trying to get on the road as much as possible with an EP behind it. I mean, it's definitely a big possibility. Here's another thing I was thinking about as well that just popped into my head. Think about, again, all the bands that were touring in 2021 and 2022. A lot of the bands that had been touring consistently throughout that time because, hey, we're able to finally get back out there. Some of those larger acts, they're going to spend a good amount of 2023, especially maybe that spring and summertime, potentially over in Europe because they weren't able to hit those markets during the pandemic, and especially coming out of the pandemic with some uncertainty with, they're going to play a lot more, within the United States, especially if they're bands from the United States. Now they have the ability to go over to Europe, play to all those markets they haven't been able to for almost 4-ish years. But everyone here in the US, I mean, we still want to go out and see shows. If you guys are able to tour and you have new music to tour with, shit, we're coming out in droves.
Let's go. Let's party.
Let's party, and make sure, Johnny, this time that, you make sure you're upright. You're not missing out on this one.
I know. It's tough. I was so excited, that was the very beginning of tour and went a little hard.
Yeah, but again, take a look back, it creates one hell of a story. And it's something where you even take a look and see what happened throughout the rest of that tour, where you guys basically created that touring family between all 5 of the bands. And it was even evident on the second week when I saw you guys. It was, I think I maybe mentioned that before, but it was evident. I could see it just from just the interactions between every single band. And the fact that, when even with From Ashes to New One, I mean, you guys were still hanging out there. Kingdom Collapse was still hanging out in the crowd. I think I saw Fire from the Gods hang out in the crowd a good amount, I think during maybe the second show. And it's just like, damn, everyone's here just kind of having fun, supporting each other. And the fans are having a blast with this. I mean, when people think about tours and they think positively, I mean, you're going to want that. It's someone they think your name, they're thinking good things.
Yeah, dude, that tour was unreal. It was definitely one of the better tours, one of the best tours of in our genre, I would say, for 2022.
And people are still talking about it.
I know.
It's been almost a year. Like, even like comments be like, "Oh, I saw you on that From Ashes to New tour."
Yeah.
Well, again, it like that tour was fantastic in terms of how every single band lined up with each other. Because you guys opening up, bringing some of the heaviness in there, really amping up the crowd, going into Kingdom Collapse, who just really kind of flowed along with that energy. Then Blind Channel comes on with their style of music, which I forgot how they exactly classified it as, but I was like, geez, you're coming out there with that same heaviness, but a completely different style. Now we're really feeling this vibe. You go to Fire from the Gods, you're picking up a little bit more of what from Blind Channel. You go to From Ashes to New, all of a sudden that energy is right there every single time they go on stage. Shit, it was something where everyone was just feeling as positive energy as possible for for 3 to 4 hours at a time. And especially coming out of the pandemic, people are going to remember that because they've been waiting for that for so long. And when they got the first taste of it, you guys absolutely delivered.
Yep. Thank you. was like a straight Octane tour, you know what I mean? Before we ever got to be on Octane. But every other band, you know what I mean? Like that's where they live. It's the home.
It was a non-sanctioned Octane tour at that point.
Yep.
Honestly, we could go back and instead of calling it the Still Panicking tour, we should call it this unsanctioned Octane tour. I don't know. If I talk the guys from Ashes to New again, they might be like, okay, we might maybe don't change the name, but you know what? That does make sense. One other thing I do want to ask, though, before we kind of bring this to a close, especially with the new EP coming out and with you guys, connecting with Octane, what do you think is going to be the response from not only Octane to bring these songs from this EP you guys are working on that's going to come out sometime in 2023 onto the station, but what do you think the reception from the fans, especially on Octane, are going to be to the point where, shoot, by the time, end of 2023 hits, the touring and the tour packages you guys might get offered might even, make you shit your pants. Like, what's the reaction you guys are expecting from the fans on this?
I mean, you never know. I mean, you got to take everything with a grain of salt too, just because of like what you hear and what's, going on. And, nothing's guaranteed. Nothing's ever guaranteed at Octane. Nothing's ever guaranteed on a tour. So that's why we're so grateful for whatever happens, but I think people will dig this new stuff for sure. 100%.
I'll tell you, I'm digging the new shit 100%, dude. Like, we're practicing the new stuff, and then the cool thing is, right? So before, we didn't have many songs because we were so new. So, like, we were trying to gather as many songs as we could to play, and then we got a little longer set on the next tour and the tour after that, and we're like, shit, we don't have more songs. We don't have enough songs to play. And we didn't really want to just throw a cover in to throw a cover in. But now it's like we have a bunch of songs, and we're like, shit, we're cutting songs. Which ones do we cut? But in the process of doing that over the last couple of weeks, I really enjoy the new stuff, and I can see the improvement and, just us growing as a band and finding our sound even more than so in the very beginning, So I think the fans will hear that and see that as well. And I'm excited for it.
I'm excited for it as well because as time has gone on, now that you guys have been working on more new music, you guys are really putting this together, and you guys are coming up with set lists where you have to cut songs instead of like trying to figure out how you're going to fill that time. Yep. The amount of work you guys are putting in when it comes to finding out what the core sound is for Above Snakes, you guys are putting in the work to do. You guys are making that happen. And by the time, when you guys are going out on the road, out on these tours for 2023, people have already gotten exposure to your sound. They know what the feeling of it kind of already is. And now you're able to expand on what that core is, on what that feeling you're going to be able to provide for the fans is with your music. So if you guys have had success in Octane before, if you guys are able to, replicate the emotional impact that people are going to feel when listening to your music, I mean, it's going to be a hit. It's going to be somewhere they're going to pick you guys up. It could put you on test drive. All of a sudden, a week later, boom, those songs will be on regular rotation.
Fuck yeah, we hope so.
That's so.
Just get and also get every single band you guys would potentially be like, see what kind of promotion they might be able to give you. Because I'm pretty sure when you guys put out new music, just start having King Collapse like shout from the rooftops like, "Hey, listen to this shit. It's good."
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Hell yeah.
Yeah, they always do. They're homies. Great dudes.
Yeah, I can't wait to see those boys again.
Shoot, when that stuff comes out, all of a sudden I have to make like a video. It's like, this is a public service announcement. If you're not listening to Above Snakes, please stop what you're doing and go and do that right now. I don't care if you are watching TV, scrolling through your phone, which is like 95% of what you people are doing, or eating breakfast. Just go listen. You won't regret it.
Hell yeah.
You won't.
We'll have you record it.
It's like, and then all of a sudden just have like a big word. This is a mess from the emergency broadcast system, Above Snake style.
I like it. We gotta do that.
We got it. I'll make it. I'll make something up for it and record. Just get real serious. Just like, you know what I might have to do? Might have to go to actually to the office for my full-time job. Might have to break into the CEO's office, sit at his desk, and just have it make it seem like, I'm actually like, this is just seem very, very stoked, and then just say, nah, not enough. Hit this, just snap, and then just come back here, just looking like this. I'm like, this is better. Okay.
Yep.
Do it.
Might get, maybe they won't like the fact that I might break in the CEO's office, but you know what? I'll just do it later in the day when no one's there.
It'll be
They
worth
won't
it.
notice.
It'll be worth it.
Might have to wear an Ice 9 Kill shirt for that one too, just because, just be kind of funny. All of a sudden it's like, why are you in the office wearing a evil, is that Mickey Mouse with an axe? To be like, it's Mickey Patrick Bateman. Well, hey man,
Shit.
anything to create one hell of a PSA to get people to listen to Above Snakes that is both ridiculous, over the top, and makes people want to listen to you guys. I mean, I'm in any way I can help.
Us too. We love it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. So as we bring this podcast to its conclusion, you guys know one thing I like to do is give you guys a chance to say whatever you want to say, plug whatever you want to promote, do whatever you want to do with your final thoughts. So gentlemen, the floor is yours.
Well, just check our socials. Follow us on, Facebook, Instagram, all that good shit. Check out the tour dates. We should be coming through your town or your area very soon. If not on this first run, it's going to be many more this year. And stay tuned for new music. New music.
Hell yeah. Perfectly said. So let me close this podcast with 3 things. So first things first. Above Snakes, you're going to want to follow along with them on all their socials because hell yeah, I mean, you're not going to want to miss out on tour dates when the new music drops and when some crazy ass PSA that you should listen to Above Snakes from myself drops because that just sounds like fun. So you're going to want to follow on their socials. You're going to want to watch their YouTube videos. You're going to want to stream all their music and you're going to want to buy tickets to their tour dates so you can go see these guys live. Instead of having to look all that stuff up yourself, description of the podcast say find Above Snakes online. Links and labels for everything is going to be there. So all you have to do is click and like, click share, click subscribe, click listen, click download, click buy, click and get those tickets. I'm doing all the work for you. It's like a click and then a little bit extra. Like, I'm doing all the hard work for you. I'm leading you to water. All you got to do is drink. And now it's time for number 2, gentlemen. Last time you guys were on the podcast, I made you a promise to say when I get you guys perform live for the first time, first round's on me, and I did make good on that promise. I believe it was either at 1175 or Stormy's. I don't remember which one, but I know I did. And now.
You did.
Now this time, because you guys been on the podcast again, when I get you guys perform live in 2023, once again, the first round's on me.
Hell yeah.
Because I know I'm seeing you at some point in I know I'm seeing you at some point in 2023. When is that going to happen? Who knows? But is it going to happen? As the Kool-Aid guy would say, oh yeah.
Oh yeah. You'll find out soon.
Hell yeah. So I cannot, in all good conscience, say goodbye on this podcast to you guys because this is your second time on the podcast. I love having you guys on. I want to have you guys back on once again in the future. Maybe at the end of the year to kind of see how everything went for Above Snakes in 2023 and queue up some 2024, which is really weird to say already this early in the year. But I know you guys are going to have one hell of a year. And I can't say goodbye as well because I made the promise for, again, first rounds on me. And I'll see you guys at some point in 2023. I know I will. So this can't be goodbye. Gentlemen, this is I'll see you later.
See you later, dude. Great talking to you.
Well, folks, that's my interview with the guys in Above Snakes. Again, thank you to Johnny and Dax. Now I'm going to start doing a little bit of a different thing here at the end of these episodes. I'm going to give you my final thought on the entire episode before we close it out. So, one thing you guys might be thinking about is taking a look at Above Snakes' trajectory. I mean, they started releasing music in the pandemic in 2020. That's really when they got together. If you watch our first episode, they kind of go through the history up to that point because our first episode aired right before the From Ashes to New tour started in March of 2022. But then they went on tour From Ashes to New. They went on tour with Texipolo Coalition. They went on tour with Raw, Stitch Apart, and September Morning. And now for 2023, they're starting out with Adelita's Way and Otherwise. It's like, those are some national tours that they ended up going on. And it seems like, oh yeah, they hit it off pretty quickly. And what are they talking about? Those trials and tribulations and like pitfalls that bands can fall into because they don't seem to have fallen into those. No, you don't understand. If you watch that first episode, they talk about that they've been in bands for God knows how many years. I mean, both Dax and Johnny used to live out in Los Angeles. Now they're out in Boston doing all this stuff. So when it came down to it, they have gone through all those trials and tribulations that many local and regional bands that are trying to become those nationally touring acts have fallen into. Many of those bands that have, thought they were going to make it big, but then broke up because of financial issues, because of bad decisions, because they trusted the wrong people. These guys have gone through that stuff. So when it came time to putting the right team around them, they leaned on that experience. They leaned on that and really made it work so that, now going into 2023, they're on Octane. They're on these national tours, and it just keeps rolling because they're putting in the work to not only hone their craft, but also put in the work to make sure that the people that they are bringing around them for their team to help promote the band and to help make sure they achieve their goals and dreams are the people that are actually wanting to do that and are actually be able to help instead of the people that just want to make a quick buck. I mean, I can learn from this as well, as we're trying something completely different here, and we're working with a different company to kind of help us, help get the podcast to where we want it to be as well. We had to do our due diligence, and I'm hoping for the best. We'll see what happens. But the same thing for you guys as well. Any endeavor that you go into, whether it's a band, whether it's your own business, I mean, people are going to try and scam you. People are going to try and make a quick buck off of you. If they want to help you, please, please, please do your due diligence to make sure that they not only can help you, but if you believe that they can help you, answer the question, why should I believe them? Why should I believe that this is going to happen? You answer that question and you find out the answers to it and you actually have data to back that up or reasons to back that up that, people can corroborate and other people that have worked that person can corroborate, boom. Then you may have found someone that can really, really help you. For Above Snakes, though, please, again, remember, follow them on all their social media accounts. Remember, support them as much as possible. Buy their merch, buy their tickets. Go and stream their music. Get ready for that EP to come out at some point in late spring, early summer. Links are in the podcast where it says Find Above Snakes online. And follow the Chord Progression podcast online as well so you can get the fun little snippets for this podcast so you can join our Instagram live streams every single Wednesday. And so that, when it comes to some of the crazy guests that we have upcoming, you're not thrown off by it. You know when every single guest is coming out, and you get to enjoy those crazy, wacky, meme-like videos. And you can connect with us as well. All the links are under. It says follow us online or find us online. All down there as well. Thank you once again to Phoenix Fitness for sponsoring this podcast. We're off and not free shipping. I'm used to that with the Manscaped one. 20% off using the code CPP20 at fnxfit.com. Link shipping to the podcast. Once again, thank you, Johnny and Dax from Above Snakes. I will see you guys at some point in 2023, and first round's on me. On that note, that's going to be it for me, guys. Thank you for watching, listening to the Chord Progression Podcast. My name is Kevin, and you guys know how I end every single one of the big, healthy, and hearty. See ya! Yeah.